Hey, and welcome back to our alpha test on Overnight Accountants or Owner Academies, 5 pillars of business success for startups. This is the boot camp alpha. This is basic training. Just so you know, if you haven't watched the other ones, that's what the purpose of this is. We really see is the material what we want for individuals starting their own business, and really is it enough information to get them that they can utilize quickly. We don't want to overwhelm them with information. We give them information that they can use, or use a small business owner watching this in a focus group or whatever. Does this information really help you? And one of the biggest challenges for me, of course, is what to leave out and what to put in, particularly with this particular pillar 2, the customer experience, because it's so broad, it's so abstract, and it's so vital. Okay, now this one here, we're still constructing the customer experience. This is actually the 4th and final section of the customer experience as far as it's done. And one of the questions I want to ask as we go through this alpha test is, do we need to add another one covering maybe something like the 5 C's, or bringing the customer experience all together and still stay within a reasonable time? So, and still teach what we need to also. All right, so remember, if you remember from the last video, the last lesson, customer experience starts with your customer, who they are, what they really buy. If you remember, we did the value statement. Your business does what for who? There's your value statements that we constructed last time we did who. You notice it's not underlined because we already answered that. Well, I guess you already know who your business is also, but does what for who, and that who is always going to be a decision maker. It's individual, needs your product or service, can afford your product or service, and a profitable segment for your business who ultimately makes that purchase decision. That's who you're constructing your customer experience around. This section we're going to discuss your business does what. We want to discuss does what. So we're going to help you complete your value statement using an example. We're going to continue with our example from before. Now, but does what? I mean, when you're thinking about what, remember, customers purchase why, they don't purchase what. Does what for who. And we're not talking about your product or service. You don't sell products or service. You sell benefits of your product or service. No one really buys a product or service. They purchase them for the benefit that that product or service provides. So remember that. That is very important. A lot of customers just go out and say, a lot of business owners go out and just say, hey, I'm selling this or that, doing this or that. That's not a benefit. It's the benefit your business provides. And also, it's the result the decision maker desires. So it's the benefit for the decision maker. What benefit is decision maker get out of your product or service? What need or want does your product or service satisfy for the decision maker? I keep repeating this because knowing that everything you do in your customer experience is not for everybody in the world. It's always for an individual. It's always for an individual who makes a decision about whether or not they're going to purchase your product or service. Every business has a decision maker who decides to purchase or not purchase their product or service. So, value statement. Reiteration. Your business provides what benefit or result for the decision maker. Now, as we go through this lesson, you should already know who your decision maker is. Now you need to really think about what benefit or result does your product or service provide the individual who makes a decision about whether or not to purchase your product or service. That's where we're at, and that's what we're going to do. Now we're going to continue with our example. If you remember Jenny's basketballs, Jenny's value statement so far is Jenny's basketball does what, provides what benefit for regional and school athletic directors. Remember, regional directors are the primary purchaser of the product or service. They're the ones that really sign off on the product or service, but they're highly influenced by school athletic directors. And another word for school athletic directors, really, these are the phys ed coaches who ultimately end users of the basketball. Oftentimes your purchaser, the decision maker, is not the same one who uses your product or service. You need to think about that. Jenny's one example, and that's why I use, like I said, this is more of an academic example, but it does illustrate this very important point. Maybe your business goes directly to the decision maker. That's good. Might be a little easier. Okay. Now, what they want, what do these decision makers want? Remember, she's got regional athletic directors. These regional athletic, what they want is they don't want complaints from the schools about the balls not working. They don't want to hear complaints about from the students, or the parents of the students rather, that their middle school kids aren't able, because you don't have enough basketballs for them. They don't want to hear from the school athletic director saying they can't teach because they're spending all their time inflating basketballs that don't work, for whatever reason. They also want good value for the money. The value for the money that doesn't, by value, They won't hear complaints because what they purchase doesn't work. They want an easy purchase process. Remember, these guys are busy. These ladies and gentlemen who are the regional athletic directors, they're busy. They got a bunch of schools to run athletic departments. They want an easy purchase process. They want a guarantee too. They don't want to be taking risks. They want a guarantee and also the ease of replacement for these basketballs should they not work, so they can keep the quota of their students. They're responsible for the students participating in athletic programs. Even though they don't work with these students directly, it's still their responsibility. So they want to guarantee ease of replacement. They want to make themselves, of course, and their superintendents look good by not having distractions from the phys ed departments in their district. So they want to make themselves and their superintendent, who is their direct superior, look good. That's really their job. That's what everyone's job is, to make the people above you look good by doing a good job. So Jenny's benefits for the regional athletic directors and regional directors is, now her price is slightly higher, okay? Because she's not going to get the benefits without charging a slightly higher price, but she is creating the benefits for her customers. Now, in doing that, she has a 3 and 5 year guarantee on these basketballs. That means if the basketballs deflate and don't work and you can't pump them up, they're not holding air, or if the skin goes wrong with them, something happens to basketballs, really for whatever reason, they'll fully replace those basketballs in 3 years. That's a pretty sweet deal compared to her competition or what they're offering. Also 3 to 5 years, so this is basically half price replacement, 3 to 5 years. Regional athletic directors like that. That's part of the experience that she's creating for them. Half price replacement between 3 to 5 years. After 3 years, half price replacement. Now, single school district price and direct delivery to school. So the whole district has a single district price, single price for all the schools in the jurisdiction, and they don't have to send these basketballs to a central office who then distributes them to the schools. She distributes these basketballs directly to the schools. Same with the purchase and replacement. Very easy to replace these basketballs. The school phys ed instructors, the school athletic directors can handle this on their own very easily. Just go online and fill out a form with a code from their school, send the basketballs back to Flata, send them in. No problem. No problem at all. Very easy. Now, so Jenny's basketball statement for what she's doing is, she is allowing your regional athletic directors to focus on their job. She's providing value to them and allowing them to focus on the many, many other responsibilities, because once they purchase a Jenny's basketball, guess what? They're done. They don't have to deal with it anymore. It's off their plate. They've got value for their money, they got a replacement guarantee, and they got direct delivery to the schools. So regional athletic directors, you don't hear anything bad about it. You don't hear anything bad about the balls. That's what you want. So she provides value and focus to regional athletic directors. Okay? That's the benefit. So you see, this is her value statement. This is one of her value statements. This is for her decision maker. Okay, so her whole customer experience is going to be built around this for these regional athletic directors. Jenny's Basketballs provides value and focus for regional athletic directors. Okay, now what about schools? Schools are the school directors, the school phys ed coaches, or phys ed teachers rather. They're the ones actually using these balls every day with the kids. So they're going to get one ball. This is what they want. They want one ball per student. They want the ball to stay inflated. They don't want to spend all their time in the back room inflating basketballs because the things are losing air. That's a hassle that takes away their teaching time. They are there to teach, not inflate basketballs. That's really part of their job, but a part of their job they really don't like. They want durability. They're more interested in durability of the balls than they are in how the balls look. It's a school. They want to be able to use the balls. They want them to bounce. They want to be able to teach what they need to teach with these basketballs about ball handling, coordination, whatever the job is for that age group from 6th to 8th grade in middle schools. That's what they want. They want a texture that is easily grabbed by both small and large hands. Okay, so they want these balls to be, they don't want to have a bunch of accidents by balls slipping out of kids' hands, hitting them in the face, breaking their nose and all this good stuff. They want texture that is easily grabbed for both large and small hands. So that's what they need. The size of the ball could have an impact on that. Bottom line is they want to teach. They don't want to mess with equipment. So what is Jenny's benefits for these school directors, school athletic directors, phys ed teachers? She has a special bladder in the balls that hold pressure longer than the competition's balls, than other balls. They built these things around a bladder, the internal thing that holds the air, that really holds pressure longer, and it's pretty much not leak proof, but it takes a very long time to deflate these balls. She also has, for every 30 balls you buy or whatever that special number is, she actually has a quick inflate compressor that comes with the balls. It's a little unit that quickly inflates the basketballs, so you're not spending all the time pumping these things up. It's a quick electric inflator, battery operated inflator, and it has a pressure alarm. So so as soon as it's inflated to the right pressure, it beeps, it turns itself off, you're done. You can inflate these balls in 15 seconds, you inflate a ball. Good deal for the school directors. Now she has a textured no-slip form on her hands. They're specially taking these balls and forming them for their target market, for their customer, which is really the school athletic directors, but it's really those kids, isn't it? It's really those kids, but the kids really aren't involved in the purchase decision process. The school directors greatly influence it. They're the end user of the product ultimately for our purposes. So they don't want the kids getting hurt, and they want to be able to teach them. They want to be able to hold the ball so they can do whatever they're teaching them. They can grip the ball. A form holding cover, no slip form holding cover, less accidents, less kids. It makes it easier also for the kids to catch the ball, so it really helps their self-esteem. So it's good on many levels. Now, it's also, they have a slightly softer shell, reducing the chance of injury for those kids, which is awesome. No hassle guarantee, which we discussed earlier. If there's anything wrong with the ball, simple form, go online, fill it out, school code, you get the ball. You get it direct, and it's delivered directly to the schools. They don't have to go to some other office and pick up the balls when they're supposed to be teaching kids. So the bottom line for these teachers, the value statement, the value, the benefit Jenny is adding to these school athletic directors is they reduce stress because they don't have to deal with all these other issues, and the increased teaching time. They're not in the back room fixing these balls. It gives them peace of mind, so it reduces stress and increases teaching time of middle school athletic directors. So that's her value statement. Now she knows what she is ultimately selling. Her customer experience for the school athletic director, for phys ed teachers, is going to be really the benefit, reducing stress and increasing teaching time for the school athletic director. So everything that she has come in contact with them through all her marketing, everything she does, every interaction is going to be built around the fact that her basketballs, she's not selling basketballs, she's really selling reduced stress and increased teaching time for middle school athletic directors. And if you recall, these middle school athletic directors are in schools where zip codes where the population is increasing and they're having economic prosperity, and also many schools are receiving grants to increase athletic activities for the students. So there's her market. So she has two customer experiences. You'll see here one, she's creating one for the regional directors, which we went over earlier. They're making the purchase decision. However, school directors are the ones using the product or service. They're using the product. They influence the decision maker by requesting these balls. So they really have two experiences. See this little triangle there. Her experience for these guys and these guys. That is awesome. Okay, and that's it for this section. So now you should be able to build your value statement completely. Your job right now is to build your value statement, and then after you have built your value statement, you're going to implement that in everything that comes in contact with your customer, and that is the boot camp version, basic training on the customer experience. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can use it.